Cowboys training camp coverage is powered by AA Best Bail Bonds and Jason Thompson, the Thompson Law Firm.
It is the Blitz 1250 ESPN San Antonio live at Dallas Cowboys training camp, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, along with former Cowboy Pro Bowl linebacker Dat Wynn. I'm Jason Minix, joined now by safety Barry Church. Now, Barry, last time we talked to you out here, you just had an incident with a Jolly Rancher. I know you want to I know you don't want to talk about that anymore, right? Are you staying away from the Jolly Ranchers?
Oh, definitely. Only soft candy from now on. That root canal was no joke. I don't plan on going back.
All right, so for soft candies, what did you go for, like the gummy bears or the Coke bottles? What's your choice?
Definitely Haribo gummy bears, the best thing I can do. Everything else, I just gotta stay away from it.
Think about camp now. You're going into 10 days of camp, and everything seems like it's going to a point where everything's slowing down a little bit, because now you're expecting what's going on with the defense, knowing with the offense, got a game coming up. Your assessment of the first 10 days of camp, to you, what you see? Are you guys better? You guys need to work on certain things?
I definitely feel like we need to work on a few things. I mean, nothing's ever really that perfect, but I feel as though the defense is communicating well, especially the younger guys are coming along well and learning the defense as fast as I had it. I couldn't imagine they would learn it that fast, but they're learning it real quick, and the communication level's up, and that just breeds fast play for our defense. So I feel like we're running the ball fast and communicating well. Just got to fix up a little things with our techniques.
Barry Church here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio. Last year, the defense, you know where it ranked. And I know you got to face those questions day in and day out about how this group can be better when you think about some of the guys that are no longer a part of this team. How can it be better?
Well, definitely, I feel as though we lost big time leaders in Sean Lee, Jason Hatcher and Marcus Ware. Those guys. We got a multitude of guys that try to step up and fill those shoes, but I feel like the communication level has to be at high if we want to fill those guys' shoes. Because those guys, they were out there just making plays just on pure athletic ability. And those are some of the greatest players that we've had here. So with them being gone, we just got to be able to communicate and have everybody on the same page. And we'll have to rally to the ball. We can't have just solo tackles out there. Everybody has to gang tackle. But I feel like we'll have a pretty successful defense if we're able to do that.
And you're talking about leadership, and you're the one that's going to eventually be that leader, that secondary leader, that defense. For you, you were the MVP, the most consistent player a year ago in my book. You were the best player on the defense side of the ball last season. So how of a role have you taken since DeMarcus Ware's not here? Jason Hatcher, Sean Lee went down. Have you taken that role of being the leader of this defense?
Oh, definitely. I had to work on my vocal leadership skills. More and more of a guy that's kind of, I'm not that rah-rah guy. I'm kind of a just lead through example type of guy. But definitely the coaches came into me this year and said, you're going to have to be that more of a vocal leader. We lost our vocal leaders in the offseason and in injury, so they're definitely looking for me to go out there and be more of a vocal guy and get everybody going. So I have to work on that. And that's something in my game I have to work on, but I feel like I can get better.
Do you think about your road to this point and ever pinch yourself saying, holy cow, this is what I'm doing now?
Oh, definitely. It's just coming from undrafted to special teams and now starting and then getting injured and then now starting again. I mean, it's a great path. Just makes you appreciate what you have.
Is it an example of the hard work that you're doing, and you can use that as an example to bring these other guys along?
Oh, definitely. I tell them all the time, when they're feeling down or they're like, man, we gotta go out here and practice. I'm like, man, would you rather be anywhere else? Shoot, somebody else could be doing this job. You could be working in the desk somewhere. So definitely, those guys look to me to lead them out there on the field of play and just rally those guys, and I'm looking forward to doing it.
Barry Church, strong safety for the Dallas Cowboys. You were talking about injury a few seconds ago, and you played 3 games a couple of years ago, and you tore your Achilles. And they offer you an extension, a contract. Whenever you go out there, you think back of the opportunity, how they believe in you, they trust in you, knowing that they had a future with you. Do you ever think back and say, man, every time I walk on this field, I'm playing for this team, and this is the reason why you go back to that year?
Oh yeah, just knowing that they had confidence enough to offer me an extension after having such a gruesome injury. I mean, it just showed me that they have confidence in me and they trusted me. So every time I go on that field, I just play for them and just make them realize that with the confidence they instilled in me is definitely not one.
When you look at your position as a defensive leader and as a safety, you've been in a couple different defensive systems now. How hard is that to keep learning all these new systems?
It's definitely tough. I mean, you got different philosophies with each coach. Some coaches will try to scheme it up to where their defense kind of tricks the competition, and other coaches like Rob Marinelli and Kiffin, those guys are just this is the play we're doing. Either you're gonna beat us or we're gonna beat you guys. So it's definitely a different philosophy, but I enjoy playing in the system, and I think this system highlights the safeties and highlights our defense and lets us play aggressive and looking forward to it.
So execution is the most important in this defense, and when you think about this defense, all you see is John Lynch, a lot of John Lynch, and that position that you play. Do you pick their brain at all about what John Lynch used to do and how he did certain things? If it's cover one, going down the box, making another cover one, or is it cover three? I'm sitting in here, I'm playing the run. Do you ever pick their brain?
Oh, definitely. All the time we ask, how he blitzed and what he read when he blitzed, if it was the back or if it was the guard or what keys he did in cover two. I mean, we actually got to pick his brain last year.
Oh, you did?
He
Good.
came to one of the meetings, so we definitely got to pick his brain, and the coaches, they just let us know all the time how he played and what he's reading. So I'm definitely thankful to have great players in the system ahead of me.
Barry Church here on 1250 ESPN. We got in yesterday, so we haven't seen a whole lot of practices, but that blue-white scrimmage had a different intensity level than what we're used to seeing out here at Cowboys training camp. Does it feel different this year than in years past?
Oh yeah, it definitely feels different. I mean, the competition level is just it's skyrocketing right now. That's all Coach Gary, kind of harps to us is, make sure you compete out there, bust your butt, because what you do in practice, that's what you're going to do in the game. So if you compete hard in practice, I mean, the game's going to be a lot easier out there. So he's definitely, harping on competing, and we're going out there and doing what we can.
And the offense is very dynamic. You got some good skilled players at a lot of position. How would that transfer into the game? How would that help you guys playing the league that you're going to play in, especially in the NFC East, which you got a lot of skilled players? Does that help you prepare for the season?
Oh, definitely helps us. I mean, just going out there, I mean, that's a top 5 offense right there. And like you said, there's great skill at every position. So going against them and Hall of Famers like Whitney, and you got Romo being able to look you off as a safety. And
that's the worst feeling, isn't it? That's the worst feeling. They're looking you off.
Oh, that's the worst feeling. So, I mean, going against those guys just prepares us for the great challenges we have ahead in the East and in the NFL.
Yeah, you look at the schedule. What's the one game that you've circled? Their quarterback, their offense are going, oh man, that one I got to be ready for.
Definitely San Francisco, because I mean that's our first game, and that's the game that we're looking forward to playing, and hopefully get a W out there. But we got to bring our hard hat to that game, because that's one of the most physical offenses in the game.
And you talk about San Francisco. They've been to the NFC Championship 3 consecutive years. Is that the measuring stick for the Dallas Cowboys in that first game? Is that what you're going to tell the young players that this is what we're going to be? They've been here, they've been there. We want to get to where they're at. Is that one of the motivation?
Oh, definitely. I mean, they've been ruling the NFC for the past couple years. Like you said, they won in 3 straight NFC Championship games. So us going against them just going to show us where we're at, as far as competition, as far as our team goes, and hopefully we'll be able to come off.
Barry Church here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio. The scrimmage yesterday, a little scuffle, a lot of trash talking. Who talks the most trash on that offense?
Definitely Des Bryant. I mean, anytime he catches anything, or anytime any of his teammates catches anything, I mean, he's the first one to go over there and high five and go ahead and over there and talking noise. But I mean, you gotta love him. He's out there, competitive. He's out there, fiery spirit. I mean, he just brings the best out of everybody, and I love having him on.
How much did you love seeing Will Cox go at it with him?
Oh, definitely, I love that. I mean, just this fiery part of our defense. Just making sure nobody, even Des Bryant can't just run through our defense untouched. And he put a nice lick on him, and then afterwards, they got into a scuffle. But that just brings out the best in everybody.
And J.J. Wilcox is right next to you. Now that's your compadre next to you. Communication-wise, you were talking about that earlier. How is it with you and him? He's a young player, second-year play. Now you're in your 5th season. The game has slowed down for you, obviously. Do you help him out? Did he ask you a question? Or sometimes, for players, even I remember I was a veteran. I forget stuff sometimes, and then you have to ask the guy next door, like Dexter Copley did with myself. Do you ask him sometimes, or do he ask you? How's the communication line right there?
Oh, I think it's 50-50, definitely. I mean, sometimes, like you said, I'll forget, or I'll get lost in a shuffle, and he'll bring me right back, and then vice versa. So, I mean, he's a younger guy, but he has the defense pretty much well in hand, and I'm glad he's by my side. The communication level was very, very high between the both of us. So I'm just excited to go out there and see what we can produce this year.
And you got a young rookie out of Baylor, Ahmad Dixon. How you treating him? Be honest.
I mean, he's getting the rookie treatment. He's getting clowned on here and there. But, I mean, the guy's fired, and the guy goes out there and practices hard. So that's all we can really ask for.
Good deal.
What's the line for him? You got to do something, Ricky. You got him singing. We know that. But what do you got in line for him down the road?
We got to think of some things. So far, we just got this singing down so far. But once everybody's made the team, we're going to figure some things out.
So who's the best singer?
Best singer by far is Jakar Hamilton.
Jakar Hamilton.
And he's up there every day almost. It seems like he's out there busting some notes, but he's definitely a great singer though.
Barry, appreciate you taking the time with us this afternoon, man. Now you got to run.
All right, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.